got hairy legs that turn, that.
Welcome to Certified Based, the common sense podcast where liberals crash out.
Never gets old.
Music to my ears.
Welcome back to Certified Based. Wow, it's playing again. Look at that. Encore. Just kidding, not encore. But I hope you guys are doing good. Let me tell you something. The weather is different again. Last week it was what, 91 degrees? Today it is now like 40, 50.
Yeah, and there's a wind chill too.
There's a wind chill, and it's supposed to rain, not snow this time. So we had rain, hot weather, we had snow, hot weather, and now possibly rain.
Yeah.
Which ruins my afternoon because I was supposed to grill steaks this afternoon, but probably, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that now.
Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, we're both in long sleeves today. So
yeah, back on the hoodie.
If this podcast is doing anything, it's documenting the crazy bipolar weather we have here. So
I don't know, that cloud seeding theory. I don't know, Trey. You may be onto something.
Bro,
I sent you a clip. I should have saved it.
It started as a joke, but as we slowly progressed into this, we're episode 4. It's just was getting more bipolar as we go. So
y'all liberals, we may have to talk about your climate change. I want to see what you have to say.
I might be onto something.
You may be onto something.
Yeah. Hey, we're always here to learn something.
I think the weather's just the weather in this area, honestly.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. But
yeah, I think it's just.
How you been, man? How's your week been?
Good. It was pretty good. It's kind of hectic, a little change. Got a new family member in the family. My sister-in-law had her baby, so I got a little nephew out there in the world. But we got
to see him as well.
Yeah, so we've been out of town visiting them, and yeah, it's been fun. But yeah, overall, really good. What about you?
Been good. It's been a weird week with work and everything. Not as normal as it usually is. But good. I was excited to try out my grill, but I don't know how we're gonna do that this afternoon.
We had these plans.
We're supposed to grill some steaks and eat some steaks, but we'll see. Maybe we might just do it out of my garage. I'm about to move the cars out of my garage, but we'll manage.
In this town, if there's any percent of like chance of rain, it's on the lower end, it's not gonna rain.
It's either 100 or 0.
Yeah. If there's no in between, it's
not at all. Nope, not at all. But guys, this is Easter weekend. As you guys know, if you guys watched our previous episodes, you guys know that Atreo and I, we get all of our viewpoints from our faith. First of all, we're Christians, and this is a time for us to reflect and celebrate the death of Christ. And it's because of Christ's sacrifice that He washed us away of our sins, and we are able to come into His presence and worship Him. And we're also grateful to live in a country where we're able to worship Him freely. I know some people are not as lucky in other places of the world to be able to worship Him freely. So, we're grateful to the Lord first and foremost for His sacrifice, and, we get to reflect on that this week.
Yeah, man. Easter weekend, bro. It's a good time to like step back in your daily lives, because we get so caught up with life so fast. There's so many distractions going on. Like, you got your phones, news, everything's yelling in your ear.
Yep.
And you really get like caught up, and we like to think sometimes that God's not working like He used to and back in the Bible days, but
we just gotta stop. We just gotta stop and see everything that He's doing around us.
Yep. And this is last night we had our Good Friday, as today recording on Saturday. So yesterday was Good Friday.
Yeah.
When He got crucified. So we had a good church service, and tomorrow's Easter when He rises, the
Resurrection
Victory
Sunday.
Day. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, culture likes to hijack it with Easter Bunny and talk about everything but the actual reason we celebrate Easter. So, just, step in your local church. If you're not in a church, go find one, at least Easter, learn about.
Yeah, you need to find yourself a church, and it's a great community to be around. studies have shown that, whenever you're involved in church, your chances of depression or of developing depression, or even if you have depression, it wipes all that away. When you have a relationship with the Lord, and you're reading His Word, which I'm not perfect at doing it every day. I need to be better about reading it every day. But essentially, it's medicine for your soul, and you need to surround yourself with like-minded people, with Christian people, and serve in your local church. Like I said, it's medicine for your soul. It's very important that you have that, that community, um, with uh, with your people. And my
Yeah.
Doberman is over here hitting on the window. I think he hears us talking.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be able to be in the podcast, unfortunately, today. Maybe one day.
One
But
day.
but yeah, get yourself involved in a local church. Trust me, man. It'll change your life, and it'll just as a Trey and I, we're both men. Iron sharpens iron, and our relationship. We kind of we sharpen each other up when it comes to our faith. It's
Yeah.
important.
It's very important. I've noticed this, like, personally in my own life recently. It's like how important being at church is. Like, obviously, you should be reading your own Bible and feeding yourself, because
Yes.
as an adult Christian, you should not obviously go to church to be fed as well from your pastor. But what I've been realized these past couple months is how important it is to be surrounded by like-minded Christians, not just to talk with and have to share your faith with, but like to build you up and like stand when you're going through something. There's you need to have people of faith, praying for you when you're going through something, or you can pray for other people. It's been a huge revelation in my life recently of how important it is, because um, like, I used to work at the church,
Hmm.
and so like I was always there because it was my job, and I took for granted, or I didn't realize like being there was good because it was my job and everything. But now that I don't have to be there, I see how important it is to
Yeah.
to make that choice to be there. So
Especially now that you have now that you're a dad and you have a daughter, you want
yeah,
your daughter to walk in those ways.
yes, especially for men and fathers, like
Yeah.
leading your family, and you got to be the faith leader,
Mhm.
obviously leader of everything, but especially in faith. Praying with your family, doing all that stuff. So
Yeah, and it is, Easter is, a lot of people is like it's a family day. It's time to spend time with family, which is great. There's no like bashing that or undermining that. Like, it's important to reflect as a family on Christ's sacrifice. So it's awesome if you're gathering with your family, but let's not let's not make that the number one priority. And I feel like we do that. We're not just Easter, but things like Christmas. We always
yeah,
make, oh, it's family time. It's family time. Family, family, family. It's awesome that you want to make time for your family, but at the end of the day, like those two holidays, Christmas and Easter, the number one, thing about those holidays, it's because of Christ. Christmas is Christ's birth. If Christ was not born, he would not have been able to suffer his death and wash away our sins. And same thing with Easter. He had to die and rise again. That's the main point of this time of year. Is, yes, it's great to reflect as a family, but the biggest thing is that we're at church, and that we reflect, and we're you know grateful, and that we praise God first before anything else, for his sacrifice, because that's the reason why you're able to have your family, and be able to go you know into the presence of God as a family at church, is because of Christ's sacrifice.
yeah, and that's the reason we get to live like in freedom, and walk around and enjoy these holidays, and go to church. But yeah, we can't forget the true
Hmm.
meaning, and it's so easy to get caught up. It's
And I think
so
even as a
easy.
country, we've gotten caught up in the
Yes,
culture. The Easter
yes.
Bunny, the eggs, those are all nice things, for the children and stuff. But
Even disrespected, like what the administration did last year on Easter, bro.
transvisibility, like what
Oh
what
yeah,
even is that, man? And like, especially for the children, a movie was released this week. If you have, or I don't know if it's but maybe last 2 weeks or so, King of Kings, the King of Kings. If you have not seen that movie, take your child to see that movie. That movie was super powerful, super awesome. My wife and I went to go see it, and man, it was a great movie. And even though it was an animated movie, it's much more watered down and dialed back because it's made for children. You know, they're not going to be like Passion of Christ. Obviously, when we saw Passion of the Christ, I mean, Jesus got cooked, man. I mean, oh my God. I mean,
He got cooked, chat.
I
He
mean,
got cooked.
completely unrecognizable. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it completely just it is soul crushing watching Passion of the Christ. You're like, man,
That's a
even when that movie was made 2 decades ago. Like it's been like 21 years. I think that movie was released in like 04. So I was probably
I'm
like
glad you brought that up. That's a great movie to watch, like especially around this time.
Yes.
It's a great
one of the greatest
yes.
films
Mel
of
Gibson.
all time. I mean, it changed Mel Gibson. Like you see interviews of Mel Gibson and Jim Caviezel. I mean, it completely like doing that movie was like it was like wow. Like it was exhausting on them making that movie. I was like, if it was exhausting on them, imagine what Jesus really went through. Like even for them, it was like, wow, this is rough.
And I listened to podcasts of them talking about like the filming process and the problems that always came up. I think Jim Caviezel got struck by lightning a couple times while on the cross filming. So, I mean, they face real struggles, and the devil or the enemy, he did not want that film to come out. So he's gonna do anything.
Went through some stuff.
And I heard he's working on the sequel, The Resurrection.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how that movie's gonna be.
I'm excited for that.
But yeah, man, if you've not seen Passion of Christ, that is one of the greatest films ever made, man. It's
I think it holds a record for like, it's up there for one of the top grossing films.
yeah, rightfully so, man. That movie is just it's a masterpiece. But yeah, King of Kings. If you've not seen it, like I said, I know it's watered down, but it's meant for children. But still, it's important for little children to see that film because it really, it explains at their level, what Christ did, for them.
I still need to go check it out.
Yeah, you do, man. It's a great film. And as we talked about how the last administration, garbage administration, don't know what the heck they're doing, and obviously Trans Visibility Week on Easter week, like what? Luckily now we have an administration that actually cares about Easter and Christianity. And I know people are going to say, oh my God, Trump is not a Christian. Have you seen how he talks? Listen, Trump is human. He's not God. He's not Christ. Okay, he's not perfect. Neither are we. We make mistakes,
and neither
all the
are
time.
you making those accusations.
Exactly. Neither are you. That's the whole reason why we have God's grace. Now, God's grace is not a license for us to sin, but God's grace, that's why we have it, because we're human. We're gonna make mistakes. We are gonna sin. And that's why we need to become professional repenters. We need to repent. God, I know I'm not perfect. I know I always mess up, but I'm thankful for your grace. Yep. Please forgive me for my transgressions. And you just try to be better every single day. But I'm just glad that we have an administration that recognizes Holy Week. They recognize the importance of Christianity. I just want to show you a clip, man, of Trump this past week, man. And it's just awesome to see a president recognizing Christ. And like I said, even though he's not perfect, it just says a lot.
Jesus wants to be Lord of your life. Prayer changes hearts and transforms lives. It uplifts the soul, inspires action, and unites us all as one nation under God. Our country was founded on prayer. Our communities are sustained by prayer. And our nation will be renewed by hard work, a lot of intelligence, and prayer.
How mad are they live at the fact he said that?
They're fuming. They're fuming because they're all demon possessed. No, I'm just kidding. Some. No.
Especially when they go, ah! I mean, that's got to be a demon, bro. Something. Oh my God.
It's manifesting. Whenever you say Jesus in front of them, that's it comes
Start
out.
Barking like dogs. Like,
No, that's freaking, bro. I love hearing that. It's such a lack of like just because this country was built on like Christian roots and Christian faith. Like that was the cornerstone of our country.
Here's the thing that I say. I really think because if we look at the Revolutionary War, when America was founded, there's no reason America should have won. The I don't know. Obviously, you had the British Army and then the colonists. I guess you can call them whatever.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know. I forget
the
what
colonies,
we were called, but anyways,
the
fighting
colonists, I think.
colonists, yeah, fighting the British for for America's freedom from Great Britain. We had no business winning that war. I mean, the British Army was one of the most powerful armies on planet Earth during that time. I think they were the most powerful army um, in the world during that time. And just a bunch of colonists wanted to gain their freedom from Great Britain. I mean, they just like, we're just gonna fight. If we die fighting, oh well. Like, this is it. Like, this is a revolution. And I really think that by the hand of God, we were able to win that war and build America. And I think the colonists realized that it was by the hand of God that and with God's favor they were able to win that war that they had no business winning, and they recognized that, and that's why they build this nation on Christian principles.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is just normal people wanting like their freedom. Like it's kind of what's going on now. Like the the farmers, because it was just a bunch of militiamen. It wasn't actual soldiers. Well, there was. I mean, obviously there was the colonial army that they had at the time. There was only like 13 colonies, but it was made of them plus the fathers, the farmers, the people wanting to defend their dignity and fight for something, and they didn't want to live under the oppression of Great Britain or the king at the time. So yeah, they had the bravery, and they had no they had no business winning that war.
Mm-hmm.
So just the courage and the faith they had to have. That was the key thing that
They had the
lacks
faith.
nowadays is the faith they had to
And they had
say
faith in God.
whatever. Yep.
They had to have faith in God to win that war. That's who they had their faith in, and that's why whenever they won that war, they're like, "Glory to
Yep.
God."
Yes. They're gonna lose everything, risk their lives, just to stand up. But they have that faith to say whatever. I'm gonna fight for what I believe in, my dignity and my chance to have a free life. And they only could have done that with faith. I feel like I don't know. There's no atheist out there that's gonna be like, okay, I don't know.
We were just somehow out here by accident.
Just a walking meat sack.
It takes way more faith to believe that the big boom happened by accident than to have faith that somebody created the world. That to me, it just takes more faith.
I saw this clip. There's this the scholar Wesley Huff that's been going viral. He's a Christian. He's like a super what's it called? He's an academic in like the ancient literature and the scripts, like not so much the Dead Sea Scrolls, but he translates the
ancient scriptures and stuff,
yes,
like the earliest
yeah,
writings of
exactly.
of Bible. Yeah.
And he was on this podcast, and he was talking about how atheists have to believe in at least one miracle for their what they believe in, and it's the virgin birth of the universe, like that. Life came from.
That's a miracle in itself.
Exactly, life came from no life. Structure and order came from chaos and nothingness. Like, you got to believe in that miracle if you're an atheist.
Yeah, that's a miracle in itself.
Yeah. And even like he went on Joe Rogan's podcast, and it was a great episode. I like all Christians, I like go listen to Joe Rogan and Wesley Huff, and he gives he gives a good breakdown of the gospel and like a good Christian perspective to Joe Rogan and his whole audience, and he put it real good with them having to believe in at least one miracle.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. And with God being on our side, or being on the side of the colonists, in the Revolutionary War, they gave glory to God, and obviously we see that, like in the Pledge of Allegiance, we mention God, one nation under God, indivisible, and then you have these libs that are they want to literally delete that part out of the Pledge of Allegiance and just be one nation, indivisible, literally take God out of it. And there's a famous quote from Ronald Reagan: "If we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under." I mean, as a country, I feel like we've been forgetting slowly. Have we been going under?
Yeah.
definitely been going
trajectory.
under.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the crap that's happened the last 4 years when we had this garbage administration. Going under is an understatement of what's been happening in our country. You know, the crime being out of control, the open border, the inflation. Like, we forget what principles we were founded on, which were godly principles. This nation will cease to exist. I mean, just like if you look at all these ancient civilizations, like great civilizations like Rome, and Rome's a great example. You know, once you start allowing stupid stuff to start happening and within the culture and within the nation, they cease to exist.
Yeah, you forget God, you leave God behind, and
you will forget about you.
I mean, it's just like what he want. Like he gives us the free will. He gives us that gift of free will, and if all our actions are leading away from God, He's going to give us what we want. It's going to be a godless
He gives
society.
and takes away. He gives and takes away.
And in a godless society, darkness and evil and everything that we're going towards, that we're on a full speed ahead. That's what we're gonna get.
Yeah, and let me clarify this: we're still in the era of grace. God will never forget about you. He won't he won't forsake you. Obviously, there will come a point in time where you miss out on that chance, and He will. Yeah. You will be separated from Him for eternity. But right now is the time that if you've not given your life to Him, right now is a chance to dedicate your life. That's why we say this Easter, go find yourself a local church, get yourself involved. If you've not given your life to Christ, then now's the time, and He will transform your life. Now, I'm not saying your life is going to be a cakewalk and everything's going to be easy. No, the enemy and the devil will try to attack you as much as he can to get you to not follow God. He wants you separated from God for eternity. But God is always on your side, even in the trials and the valleys, and when life is going crazy and tough, God will always be there on your side, and He'll never forsake you, forget about you.
Exactly, perfect. He's standing there, arms wide open, waiting for you. And I think that just shows His love and grace, is giving us the opportunity to even choose Him. Like, I think that's just so, like, people always argue with, why does He let all these bad things happen? And I think it's not that He allows it. I think it's we allow them. Like, He gives us free will. Our decisions lead to stuff happening. If it's anti-God, the results are going to be not of God. They're going to be the evil and darkness you see in the world. But He's always there. Yeah, as you put it very well.
He's always there. Yep. And even now, as Christians in America, now we're in such an important time as a country that we need to be proclaiming the gospel and preaching the truth more than ever, because the enemy is at work so hard in our culture right now to get people separated from God. I mean, like the whole LGBTQ community. That movement is so dangerous to America and as Christians, because number one, it destroys what God had created as it perverts what God created as a relationship between man and a man and a woman. And then our divorce rates are incredibly high. They're at the highest they've ever been. I think over 50% of marriages end in divorce, and that is something that the enemy uses, because then that creates fatherless homes, and then that creates other problems in the culture. Yeah. It's like a domino effect. The enemy is hard at work to destroy the Christian culture in America, and especially out in the secular culture, they're always painting Christianity as extremist, as bad people, and there are some Christians that are just horrible people. Yeah, okay, there are some horrible Christians, or I don't even know if they should even be called Christians in the first place, that are just out to judge and condemn people, which that's not even their job, because their job is to, obviously we're out to preach the truth. We will clearly say that, in the Bible it says homosexuality is a sin. It's wrong. If you decide to live that lifestyle and you die, you will go to hell. That's the truth, and the truth will set you free. Now, with that truth, I will say again, you can turn away from those ways and ask for forgiveness and repent and ask for Christ to come into your life and be forgiven. That also happens.
Yep. Yeah, it's very true. And that's good. That's some good stuff. Yeah, we're we're just, we're all, people living this crazy life, but he gives us the grace, and we as Christians, we all should just, I don't know. I think it's stuff is as black and white as, as the religion likes to paint it. You got to have these rules and everything, and he really just wants the relationship with you, and
Yeah.
you read your Bible, obviously, because
This is not religion. It's relationship.
Yeah.
People get that wrong. This is not a religion. This is not like, oh, we got to do these sacrifices and these rituals. No, God wants to be a part of your life. That's all he wants. He just wants to be a part of your life.
And our culture, the West in general, just has a lack of believing in like the spiritual, and I hate saying spiritual because it gives like the new age connotations, like the people like you got the girls believing in rocks and energy and
it's crazy.
I'm spiritual, that
I feel like in the secular culture, I feel like we've seen that. It's like, just breathe, let out the energy, get that positive energy. I'm like, what?
Yeah. But like you see it showing up so much because people are looking for, they're
looking for something. Go search for God.
Yeah.
He's actually there. He will actually reveal himself to you. If you go out and you seek him, he will show you.
Yeah. I think people back in the ancient days, we keep going back to like old ways, but I think we got to look back at our past, and like in the ancient days, they had no problem believing in the spiritual or like the supernatural, some as you can say. They had no problem believing it. It was part of their daily lives. Like, I could go down a deep rabbit hole, but they didn't have that problem believing in the spiritual and the supernatural. Today we do, because we got, you got science saying that science almost is like its own religion nowadays, which I'm not saying that I don't believe in it. I'm saying that the ideology around it and the people, the science community. But they're looking for something. You got what else going? You got all the social media. You got all this stuff being distractions in your ears and distracting us from being in touch with God and that spiritual part. Even the Bible even says we're not in a war with flesh and blood. It's spirits, darkness, and principalities. And we're just, there's a lot that we're being distracted from. I believe I can go down a crazy rabbit hole.
Yeah. No, yeah, but the enemy is definitely at work in this country to destroy this country.
Yep.
And now is the most important time for us to proclaim the gospel and not let little dumb things divide us, especially as Christians. As Christians, we need to unite together and proclaim to everybody in this nation around the world that Christ is King and that he sits on the throne and that he can change your life and make your life for the better. That there is something out there, that life, there is something more than just living your life, that you can live a satisfied life with Christ.
Yep.
And quit searching in these like I said, these rabbit holes of like positive energy, negative, and no, none of that stuff exists. None of that stuff is gonna truly affect your life in a positive way. The only person that can positively affect your life spiritually and for your soul and help you live a truly satisfied, fulfilling life is Christ. That's the only person.
Yep. There's more than this materialistic world. There's more than just just satisfying with your fleshy desires. And
you could have everything in the world. What do you think? We've had so many celebrities throughout history unfortunately kill themselves. They take their lives. They have all the money and all the fame in the world, and then they still have this void in life. It's like in scripture when we say you gain the whole world but you lose God, you don't have nothing. You don't want to gain the whole world and lose who you are in the Lord, because at the end of the day all that means nothing. You're empty at the end of the day.
Exactly. Yep. Just look at the successful people and everything. They're all looking for something. Everybody's looking for something, and I think it all. Yep. I think it all just points to God and Jesus. Like He made us. He put that desire for us to look for that, and nowadays people are just filling that void with whatever, drugs, alcohol, partying, lifestyle, living. Working, money, whatever it is. It can be anything. Food. There's so many stuff you can put in that hole, and it's not big enough to fill it.
Yeah, exactly.
Just people. There's more than what is we can touch. There's more than this material world. I believe there has to be more, and I believe God is the answer to that.
Yeah, for sure.
Open your minds, people, a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Give yourself
Search him yourself.
Yeah, give God a chance and see what He can do. He can do some crazy things in your life.
Yeah.
In a great way. Okay, so there's this thing that's been blowing up all week long. Little shift of pace here, but I want to get a Trez reaction because he's heard a little bit about it. I've been looking into this quite a bit, but if you have not heard about the Austin Metcalf case, this has been making the rounds all over social media. Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf. So I'm going to present to you the facts from an unbiased standpoint because Atreya hasn't really heard much about it. And I want to get his reaction out of it. Okay. So this happened April 2nd. This was in Frisco, Texas. I believe it was at a high school stadium. This is like a track meet or something like that. Yes, it was. So Anthony entered entered Memorial's team tent during a track meet. Okay.
Okay.
And then Austin Metcalf asked him to leave. Okay. And then obviously they got in an argument and all that.
Okay.
And then witnesses say that Anthony threatened Metcalf. So Karmelo Anthony, that's the student's name that murdered Metcalf.
Okay. That's the suspect, I guess.
Suspect, yeah. So, okay. And then when Austin Metcalf physically escorted himself out, so Austin Metcalf was leaving, Karmelo Anthony stabbed him. Okay. And then Austin Metcalf was taken to the hospital.
That came out of nowhere.
And then died. Okay. So he unfortunately died. And then Karmelo Anthony remained at the scene and was arrested. Okay. So he's being charged with first-degree murder. This is the crazy one here. This judge needs to be investigated.
First degree sounds right. I mean, that's premeditated.
He killed him in broad daylight. This is no like he was sneaky. He was kind of this was premeditated. No, this was straight impulse control. Okay. This is lack of self-control here that we're talking about. Okay. Charged with first degree murder. Bond reduced from $1 million to $250,000.
Okay. That's a big. That's a large.
Was bailed out of jail. Yep, large number.
Reduction.
Large reduction. Anthony is now on house arrest with ankle monitor. Confessed to police. I did it, and asked if it was in self-defense. Not eligible for death penalty or life without parole due to age. But I honestly think he should be tried as an adult. He's 17 years old. I mean,
what state was this in?
Texas.
Texas.
So Frisco, Texas. And then we kind of seen the public reaction. A lot of people are definitely like, what is this judge thinking? Like giving him, like reducing that bond all the way down, like significantly. Like this guy killed somebody in broad daylight. Just cold-blooded stabbed this person in the chest. After a verbal, they get a verbal altercation. Austin Metcalf was leaving. He was seeing himself out of the situation, and then Karmelo Anthony stabbed him and killed him.
Yeah, that's wild.
Okay, and then obviously Karmelo Anthony's family is under fire. I mean, receiving death threats, being doxxed. Which, first of all, whatever your opinion is about the case, nobody should be doxxed. Nobody should be having death threats sent to them. Okay, that's all. That if you're doing that, then you're in the wrong. Whether you agree or disagree with the actions, nobody should be doxxed or threatened like that. Okay.
Yeah, that's absolutely
insane. That's because then that's also showing lack of self-control. And then a big controversial thing that obviously people are also been pissed off about is that they started a GoFundMe for Karmelo Anthony for his legal funds.
The family did?
Yeah, yes, the family put out a GoFundMe. Karmelo Anthony, the dude that killed Austin Metcalf, Karmelo Anthony's family, they started a GoFundMe for his legal fees.
That's crazy.
They're like, help us with our son who just killed somebody. Help us with our legal fees.
Are people donating to it?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
And then obviously a racial issue because Karmelo Anthony's black.
Okay.
And Austin Metcalf is white. You know, people are like saying if the roles were reversed, if Austin Metcalf would have killed Karmelo Anthony, we'd be having riots all over the place.
Yeah,
BLM would be like, oh yeah, time for us to make some more money.
Yeah, you'd be seeing it everywhere.
So what do you think?
I've seen very little of it, and I would have been seeing that everywhere if the roles were reversed.
So tell me your thoughts. And then I've presented to you the overview of this case. What do you think?
Okay, starting from the top. So they were arguing at a track meet. Over he wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. And Austin Metcalf was like the one.
Yeah,
was
Austin
he older?
Metcalf,
Was he?
No, they're both 17.
So he was kind of like telling him to leave and everything. Okay.
Yeah, so I guess he was going to see himself out of the situation. He's like, he's just leaving. And then Karmelo Anthony proceeded to stab him.
Just did like a little quick turnaround.
I guess.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh man. And people are donating to the GoFundMe. What? Bro. This is what we were just talking about. The world going absolutely insane.
And then the family, Karmelo Anthony's family, so the killer's family is like, they're trying to play the victim. They're like,
really?
yes. They're
really?
like, people are literally, there's a website where you can buy a t-shirt that says Justice for Karmelo Anthony. I'm like, he just killed somebody. He killed somebody in broad daylight. He just stabbed him, cold-blooded stabbed him, killed him.
Oh my gosh.
And the family's trying to play victim. Now I understand they should not be getting death threats. They should not be harassed. That should not be happening. That is not okay. But you cannot be playing the victim. Your son just murdered somebody.
Yeah, and then you're justice for what?
You have the audacity to start a GoFundMe.
Justice.
What?
It's not like he was like pulled over or like the cases you always see like.
Yeah.
It was like it's pretty black and white, this case, dude.
And then people are saying that Karmelo Anthony, oh yeah, I did it in self-defense. Austin Metcalf was seeing himself out of the situation. He was leaving. How could you say that was self-defense? And people are trying to compare this to the Kyle Rittenhouse case. So, well, Kyle Rittenhouse, he got off because he killed 3. He literally did it in self-defense. There is video evidence of Kyle Rittenhouse defending himself. He had people chasing him. He had people, somebody drew a gun at him, literally pointed a gun at him. Literally, one of the dudes that he shot testified in court, and he literally admitted, you got shot once you pointed his gun at him. He shot at you as soon as you pointed your gun at him. And the dude that got shot said, yes, I was shot whenever I pointed my gun at him. Well, that's where the case fell apart.
Yeah.
And how do you even compare that to the Karmelo Anthony case? Austin Metcalf was seeing himself out of the situation, and then he got stabbed and killed. What?
No. Bro, that's so crazy. I don't even know where to start.
Here, we could give you some more perspective with this next clip that I want to show you. This is Austin Metcalf's mom. This is a press conference video of her, be like, oh my God. I mean, she's worried because of, her family being doxxed, which is, reasonable. I get she has a point in that. Her family should not be harassed. They should not have to deal with the harassment and all that stuff. But the fact that you're playing a victim card of like, my son, your son just killed somebody. What about the family of Austin Metcalf? What about his parents? They just lost their 17-year-old son because your son has zero self-control. And I guess he already had a history of violence. He already had gotten at fights. I guess he already had problems controlling himself. And apparently they're like, oh, well, Karmelo Anthony he had a 4.0 GPA. He was a smart kid. That is not 4.0 level of thinking. Maybe if you that's like a 0.5 GPA level of thinking and self-control.
Not critical.
Not to be able to control yourself in broad daylight in front of everybody, and you just kill somebody in broad daylight. You could at least waited to find out where he lived and kill him in his sleep and sneak up on him or shoot him with the gun. But no, just broad daylight. You just kill somebody. That is not smart kid level of thinking. That's dumb.
If it was just impulse and these guys didn't have any relationship, or because I'm thinking maybe there was some bad beef, or there was some beef we didn't know about, to maybe, I don't know, it was just the tipping point. But has anything like that come out, or it was just a random, they didn't know each other?
I don't know if they knew each other. I didn't. From the facts that I gathered, that they didn't give me that. According to
Okay.
ChatGPT, but
Okay, because if it's just like their first time meeting, little
mhm.
interaction, stuff gets heated, but then you just decide to just stab somebody and kill them.
Regardless if they knew each other or not, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
just the
obviously.
lack of
Yeah,
self control. You just turn
yeah.
around and stab somebody when the person is obviously trying to see themselves out of the situation.
But having beef, it'd be, you can understand there was tension rising.
Mhm.
But if it was just off the rip, like they don't first interaction and dead.
That's even
Yeah,
crazier.
that's
I mean,
that's even
Carmelo Anthony. I'm like, mom speaking out. Yeah, my kid. No, your kid's a psycho.
yeah.
Your kid's
Well,
crazy.
we gotta look back at the parents because
Yeah.
the home. You gotta investigate the home and the how he was raised because that's not like a
Carmelo Anthony was is, I mean, I think the family lives in a house, lives in a nice house. Like, this is an upper
okay. So
class
he's not like a
family.
victim of
No,
his
no,
environment.
like, this is like an upper class family. Like, I think they're at a rich kid school. Like, this is a pretty,
Okay.
like, not, yeah. So yeah, definitely like high middle class. But yeah, let's look at this clip. I'm gonna go ahead and test the audio real quick to make sure that, or you guys can actually hear what's going on.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes.
Okay, all right, we got
I
audio.
am the mother of
Let me restart it
Karmelo
real quick.
Anthony.
All right.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Karmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're the best we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about.
Okay, she has a
Valid.
point there. She has a point. Valid. But also, you started a GoFundMe for your son for legal defense fees. Like, what? Like, help my son here. Your son just killed somebody. Now, granted, valid point. You should not be harassed. But point of the matter is,
All right.
your son is cooked.
Well, in their position, what would you do as the parent, as a family of Carmelo Anthony? What would like be your? Because obviously you gotta like he did it, he's in the wrong, but you wanna have the best, think of the best of your kid. How would like you go like? Obviously, legal fees are gonna be in the
Yeah.
future. All this
I
craziness.
mean, I wouldn't start a GoFundMe. That
Okay.
just looks horrible.
That does.
First of all.
That looks really
But
bad.
I think if I was in her shoes, I'd be like, yeah, my son is crazy, and he messed up, and he should be held accountable. And that must hurt as as a mother and as a parent to say that of your son. Like, man, their life is ruined. But at the end of the day, they have to there's consequences to their actions.
Yeah.
Like, it sucks, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say. Like, they messed up big time.
The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false.
Okay, so
Oh.
so there's that. Let me explain that to you because I
no.
didn't get that. I didn't have these in the facts overview. But essentially, people were speculating that with the GoFundMe money, they raised money to buy a new house and buy a brand new car and all that stuff, which turns out is not true. So first of all, whenever we have these situations and we don't know all the facts yet, people need to refrain from making crap up, whether you're on the left or whether you're on the right. If you don't know the facts, don't say anything. Shut up. Don't make crap up because then you just add fuel to the fire and people start, you make stuff that makes it worse for them. If you make up that lie that they use those legal that GoFundMe money to buy a brand new house and buy a new car, I mean, first of all, that makes them look really, really bad.
Yeah.
And then it makes, the doxing and all that stuff. Yeah, of course. If they were true, people, if that were true, people would be like, what the hell, man?
They put a little BLM
Are
flipperoo.
you serious? Like, that's literally a BLM move. Like, taking all this money and buying new stuff, on the backs of a tragedy. Like, yeah, it's horrible. But obviously, from what we've seen from the facts, that did not happen. So people need to not make stuff up because that's just
Fake news.
Yeah, fake. That's literally fake news. Fake news. That is misinformation.
We have not received a single dime from the Give Send Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly.
You should not have made that in the first place, though.
We were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds.
What? Like, I still don't understand the audacity. They have to make a GoFundMe for their child's legal fees or just killed somebody. Like, donate to us. My son just killed somebody in cold blood. Does not have self-control. My kid's a psycho. We need money for his legal fees. What? Does that make any sense to you?
No. I mean, it kind of like coming from like, especially if you're not like, obviously there was some mental issue. I don't know. Like there's like moral issues. There's some shortcomings somewhere in like the capacity area or the moral area. But like, okay, they made a GoFundMe. But like the people, what I think is the crazy, the people that will donate to it. That's the crazy part for me. Like, okay, like that lack of judgment. Your kid killed somebody. Make a GoFundMe. You need to pay for it somehow. I kind of get it. But the people that are gonna donate to that's the like.
Oh my god.
Like you're actively donating to a murderer to try to get out of. I don't know. Maybe your friend, it's your cousin. Like I still have that like that human part, but I wouldn't donate to it.
That's great. To me, I'm like,
yeah.
If you want to make yourself look worse, like you're already doing damage control for your family.
It does. It does not help. It's not helping your look.
Like, what is wrong with you? Like, what?
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what about that.
Once a request is made. I don't know why we're being targeted and discriminated.
You don't know why? Like you. Okay.
I got one good reason why.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah.
A fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to.
Okay, now I've seen a lot of people talk about, I've seen some comments on social media where like, I thought white people had privilege. Do you think the tables have reversed, maybe on the privilege side a little bit?
So yeah, the only thing related to this case I've seen is that argument of like how the rulings have been against his case and then previous cases like the Kyle Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse was tried for political reasons.
Yeah. Yep. And like the unfairness comes in like the court rulings. I feel like because what I've seen this case compared to Derek Chauvin's and Kyle Rittenhouse's and how obviously the bail was reduced significantly on this case compared to like Chauvin's or Kyle Rittenhouse. Like it was clearly political persecution on those two cases.
Now, do you think if Austin Metcalf would have killed Karmelo Anthony, the public would be like, he needs life in,
Yeah.
he needs
Oh,
life in
for
prison
sure.
without parole.
Yeah.
Death penalty. If you can give him the death penalty, he's a racist white supremacist. He killed him because he's black.
Yeah. So I think this case has been a little more lenient,
Yeah.
if anything.
little?
Yeah.
I mean, his bail
And-
got from $1 million to $250,000, and now he's out
yeah.
of jail.
The fact that he's out is insane.
And he had a history of violence, like even this, like he had a history of getting in fights already.
But is it because he's 17? Is that was that why?
Yeah, because of his age. Like they don't want him tried as an adult. I'm like, no, he should be tried as an adult.
I mean, you're right there, 17. How much month? Like, when's his birthday? It's
I don't know.
got to be sometime this year. So
Yeah.
basically 18. But yeah.
He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the
That's good.
Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us.
Do you think she's going to be happy with the law whenever the jury unanimously sends this guy to prison for life, which I think he should be?
No. I feel like I feel like this happens all the time, man. I don't know why this one has been so big. Maybe because it was just.
I think
They
this
chose
case
it.
I think this case has been made big simply on the basis of race. I think it's what it is. I
Yeah.
think this is another race
Because
baiting.
I just think of like all the murders and stuff happening in like Chicago and like the bad part, like the bad cities, and like a lot of it is black on black crime, and like I just don't think her like obvious having sympathy and being emotional because it's her own son, but I can't imagine there's other moms that have been in this case, wanting justice, and I'm sure there's been more than one making GoFundMe for their kid that like did a drive-by on their friend or something. So it just doesn't like this behavior doesn't surprise me. Like, obviously you gotta you have the ignorance of that your son was a good person because they're your kid, but it doesn't. I think the real bad thing happening is the judges and the decisions being made in these cases, letting like these dangerous people go out or giving them like
Like you're digging yourself in a hole. You're making the hole deeper as you go on. You're trying to get out of it, and you just keep digging deeper and deeper. Is what you're doing.
going on news and saying it's not a good look.
To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, it's just a crazy situation. I mean, I hope the law and the justice, department and everything, it goes the right way. He gets, he killed somebody at the end of the day, and it was an innocent person. It doesn't seem like it was self-defense at all. So hopefully, they rule this correctly. That's I think the best outcome we can have.
Well, now I have another clip. This one's a little longer, but this is I think this is like their lawyer, which he's an idiot. They need to get their money back from that GoFundMe and get another lawyer because this guy is stupid. And this is a perspective from another black person actually, talking about how this is obviously all the race baiters are definitely loving this case right now.
Bro, this is it's all race bait case. It's all it is. Like,
all right, here's the press conference that they held.
okay,
Make sure that there we go.
let's go.
he should be afforded the same rights that Kyle Rittenhouse had. Daniel Pender and all of the people who have claimed.
Daniel Pender, that fool. There's got to be more intelligent black people to do. I feel bad. They finna lose big time, man. This guy don't even know what he doing. Daniel Pender, that fool said, defense. What did he say? He said something. Defense, self-defense. He said self-defense the other day 3 times. I said he really don't know the word. Self-defense. Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm not gonna litigate that anymore. But Kyle Rittenhouse was arrested, wrongfully arrested, right?
Political reasons.
That Kyle Rittenhouse was innocent. He should have been innocent on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
The videos from social media told me immediately Kyle Rittenhouse is going to get off on this. There ain't no way whatsoever he don't have a self-defense claim when people are chasing him and fighting him and beating him and hitting him with stuff and pulling guns on him. This ain't the same scenario, my man.
Yeah.
Roll the clip.
Bro.
Whatever their defense was, he should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media.
I don't know. Cat Williams was their lawyer.
Oh my goodness.
With an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back.
In the back.
He got that,
Time out.
and he
He's
raised
shooting
it.
3 people in the back. He's shooting 3 people in the back. Kyle, I know Kyle follow me on social media.
Oh, bro. He
That
fired.
didn't even happen. Where did you get that from, bro?
Fire this lawyer right now. Fire him right
Get
now.
your money back. Restart that GoFundMe because he's scamming you right now. He's already planning when he's gonna buy with that money.
Uh-huh. I didn't even want. He said AK-47.
That's not
Wrong.
Wrong gun. Wrong gun. Shot 3 people in the back.
Wrong.
Bro, is this guy retarded?
Is he a lawyer? They just find this dude off the freaking.
This
Hey,
guy better get himself a lawyer
Hey,
because
Unc,
if I
go
were
put
them,
on your
I'd sue
best
him.
suit. Go put on your best suit, Unc. We going to court. We got GoFundMe.
Oh my god.
People are donating. We on the come up. All right, let's play.
This guy's stupid, dude. Oh my god.
I'm gonna hit Kyle up. Kyle Rittenhouse, sue him. Get your lawyer together, sue him. They said
Yeah.
He said Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 people in the back. He didn't shoot not 1 person in the back. He shot the first guy in the face.
Yep.
The other guy, he shot him in the chest.
Rightfully so.
And then he shot the other guy in the bicep,
Rightfully
who
so.
testified in court with his bicep
That's
damaged.
what I was talking about.
He didn't shoot a single person in the back. But this idiot that's representing the black kid said Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 people in the back. Now, dumb Negroes are going to eat this up and say, see, Kyle Rittenhouse, look, he shot 3 people in the back. Don't be that person, black people. And others. Don't be this people. Look the story up. You really think Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 people in the back and got off?
Research it. It's not hard.
Come on, brother. They got the video online. So everything he's saying can be disproved because we have the video evidence. He on his back. How he shoot somebody in the back while he's laying on his back with the rifle in the air? Did the guy jump at Kyle Rittenhouse with his back like this?
Literally.
He did a backflip on him.
Let me show you. Let me show you. I'm gonna play it right now. Literally, Kyle Rittenhouse laying down on the floor. The dude that was the dude that got shot in the bicep, I'm pretty sure, had him like this.
Get him. Yeah.
And he got shot.
But he did like a whole backflip on him to get shot in the back. Remember that part of the video? You remember that part of the video? I forgot that part of the video.
Yeah, this lawyer's stupid. This lawyer's an idiot. Fire this lawyer, sue him, restart the GoFundMe, and get a new one.
Grab the rifle and then turn his back. The dude pulled a gun on Kyle Rittenhouse and then turned his back around so he gets shot in the back. Shut the front door. Roll the clip.
$1 million publicly, and nobody said anything. So since they tried to come for us,
Come for us? Oh my god. Dude, he killed somebody in broad daylight. Lack of self-control. What are you talking about?
call for the community's overwhelming support for this fund. The disinformation that
Oh, I love
went
that.
out was literally
disinformation. You literally just said Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 people in the back.
No, it wasn't, bro. Stevie Wonder can see he was charged with first-degree murder. Maybe we should just wait till the evidence come out before you just jump on the bandwagon and support the kid because he's black. Let's play Mama real quick, and then we're going to transition to the next story, which is very similar. And you're going to see why I always have a problem. Roll the clip.
This tragic incident, our family has been under attack.
This is the one we
Whatever
saw.
you think what happened between Karmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what may happen to her.
Time out. I'm not trying to stop Mama. This is ridiculous. I get people threaten me all the time. There is no credible threats against these people. When some y'all's address have been out there for I don't know how long, show me a single person that showed up at your house. Show me a person that showed up at your house, though. Show me a person that's actually made a threat at the school. Your kids still going to school.
Yeah.
Y'all not out for spring break. They still going to school. Show me a credible threat at the school where they had to shut the school down because somebody done made a threat at the school. Y'all making your kids feel like they not safe. Nobody coming after y'all. Your son killed somebody else. Ain't nobody mad at you. Your son is a killer. Whether you like it or not, he still killed somebody. And they come on it. This is why I don't respect this. Because I guarantee you the same amount of threats and intimidation that's going at her family is probably going at Metcalf family just as well. People are so
and their son died
against white folks that they raised $500,000 for this kid. You think people ain't talking trash online? They kicked his daddy out of there. Metcalf dad came, they escorted him out of the building. You telling me there ain't vitriolic behavior going in the other direction?
Yep. Just because they're white.
People ain't moving because they getting threats and all this other stuff. There is no credible threat that I can hear, I've seen, or anything that will make a real determination that they have to move out of their house and that he has to take a mental health leave of absence. Your mental health is deteriorating because your son may go to prison for the rest of his life. That's why your mental health is deteriorating. It's not the threats. Mama ain't crying up here because her daughter is scared, because your son might do life. That's like dying. Why we gotta be fake? You sad because your boy may do life in prison, which is horrifying.
But he should.
But they gearing it towards, and this is my opinion, they're gearing it towards, I need to make this appeal so we can get the jurors on our side. And the public can feel some type of way.
Yep.
I heard that
Emotional
they haven't
manipulation.
even used the GoFundMe money yet. So where they get money from? And if they already got money, why did they lower the bond amount? Roll it.
And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we're being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial.
Hold on. People's opinion about what y'all doing isn't being targeted. You're in the spotlight. Your kid killed another kid. Even if you didn't take the money, And this is why I said in my video yesterday, I don't know if it's true or not, but this is what people are saying. Even if you didn't take the money, where did you get the money to do what you've been doing? And if you got money, why would they lower the bond amount to $250,000? That must mean you have claimed a hardship.
That's my question there. Why? Yeah, why was it lowered from $1 million to $250,000? Do you think they would have lowered that amount if it was Austin Metcalf who killed Karmelo Anthony?
Probably not.
No. Austin
Definitely
Metcalf
not.
would still be in jail. There would be, the public would be crying, the media would be crying for him to be sent to life in prison. Right now, like I said, now that I've seen this perspective, it kind of changes how I see it a little bit. It's like, this is emotional manipulation. Let me show you my tears. Oh my gosh, this is so horrifying for me. That my kid might go to life in he might do life in prison, as he should. They're trying to put this online, so whatever possible jurors they're gonna have, they want them to feel emotional, make decisions based off feelings. Oh, poor mom or poor mom. No, yeah, it's horrifying that your son killed somebody, but the fact of the matter is, Karmelo Anthony murdered somebody in broad daylight. Once again, for the third time I'm saying it today, murdered somebody in cold blood, broad daylight. He should go to life in prison. And everybody that's on that jury, I guarantee you, I'll take it to the bank right now, they are going to unanimously send this guy to life in prison, and he should. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is it. They want to finish this?
Yeah.
That you can't afford to pay it, or it's unreasonable for the amount of money you make, or whatever the case may be, so they lowered the bond amount. But it doesn't matter, because think about this. If I had $500,000 sitting in an account that I'm going to get, you think people ain't finna give me something and I'll pay them back? You think there ain't people that reached out to their family and said, look, we'll take care of y'all and do this or whatever the case may be, outside of Give, Send, Go? Come on, bro. They could have millions of dollars right now. Because you don't need to do Give, Send, Go to give somebody money. When I raised money for Sergeant Mattingly, we did it. In 2020 or something like that, we gave him $130,000. None of that came through GoFundMe or Give, Send, Go. We wrote them a check. People could be writing them checks. Do you think a millionaire? I'm telling y'all, this is the honest to God truth. If I was worth $300 million, and there was a family that I really thought needed my help with money, I can't give them $1 million through Give, Send, Go. I'm not finna give $500,000 through Give, Send, Go so they can take a fee. I'll find a way to get them the money without them having to count that as income. And there's ways to do it. It's my income. I can leverage my income to do things for them. Meaning, here, I'm going to rent this house for you under my LLC. Or here, you guys need a new car. I'll go get you a new car from this dealership. Just drive it home. It's in my name. Just return it when y'all get y'all money. I'll put you up in this house. I'll rent this house for $3,000 a month for you guys until y'all get y'all money from the Give, Send, Go. You know what I'm saying? People acting like because they ain't giving the money or they don't got the money yet that they ain't got no money. Or people ain't been giving them money. Come on, bro. Don't be silly. Rich people don't go through Give, Send, Go when they giving bigger numbers. Roll the clip.
Son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a two-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution. We believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, when I speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day, there's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in legal process, and that is where the truth will come out.
Yeah, the truth's already out. Your son killed somebody.
My heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
All right, let me talk real quick. I feel bad for her. But at the end of the day, why wouldn't your son get a fair trial? What has happened a part of this situation that make you think that your son isn't getting due process?
Let's talk about that due process, or fair trial. He got let off. He got let off. He had a. Why is it not changing scenes? Sorry. What do you mean he would not be getting a fair trial? His bond got reduced by 3/4, 75% reduction.
Yeah.
How is that not fair? I more like leverage if you're asking me.
No, it'll. I'm sure they'll get the full extent. Hopefully, I think it's just. I think he put it well. It's just emotional manipulation. You know, they're trying to take advantage of this moment, or I don't know. It just seems so like who gave them the idea to go out in public and do a little press conference, like in a moment of distress like that. That's like the last thing you want to do. Like you're about to lose your son forever. Possibly.
Well, they're trying to do emotional manipulation. So whoever's on the jury, they're trying to do everything they can to make sure that he doesn't get life in prison.
It's all just like to vamp up like the race freaking.
Yeah, it's race.
They're
baiting.
race baiting. I think it's race baiting. You know, this situation probably happens anywhere. They just super hyper focused on it. We're talking about it. I mean, it's just
I'm literally just. It's obvious. If the tables were turned, if it was Austin Metcalf who killed Karmelo Anthony, we'd be having a completely different conversation now. Bail would have not been reduced by 75%. There would be no GoFundMe. The media would be, like I said, there would be outcries to send this guy to life in prison, no parole, or maybe even death penalty.
Yeah. I think this is just a big prop up by the news media or something, or I don't just to keep us arguing about race. That's all I think it is. Like,
and how do we
it's a tragic case, but it's just black and white. I don't know why it needs to be this big of a thing.
That's why I love what Morgan Freeman says. Morgan Freeman's like whenever he's been asked how do we get rid of racism, we just stop talking about it.
Yep, exactly.
Just stop talking about it. Like he doesn't like the fact that there's Black History Month. He's like, you're gonna relegate my history to a month.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, is there White History, Jewish History Month? Like, where's that at?
Yeah, exactly. It's all our history.
You want one?
It's American history. It's all it's been bad, but that's what it is. I think that's just what it comes down to. It's just for me. It's just whoever's wicked idea was for them to go up and do a whole press conference to get, I believe, get emotional sympathy from the jury because her son's possibly facing life in prison.
And I think he should go to prison for life.
He murdered somebody. There's consequences. You get the consequences of the law.
Plays stupid games, wins stupid prizes.
But I think the bigger story is just the media hyper focusing on it, propping it up, just like they did George Floyd and all these. They use these to create unrest in America to divide us, and
I think BLM's all over this case.
Put on your foil caps, everybody.
Yeah,
just that's what I think it is. People and. Just that, so I think it proves what we want to do with this show is to encourage everybody to do their own research. Just as that stupid lawyer said, Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 people in the back with the AK-47. Misinformation. Do your own research.
Wrong gun.
Yeah.
And wrong way that he killed those people.
Yeah.
All those 3 were out of self-defense. And the fact that you're even trying to compare Karmelo Anthony stabbing Austin Metcalf in self-defense.
Yeah. It's crazy comparison.
Are you seriously that dumb? Yeah. And do you think people are that dumb?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, he was up there speaking. The people are that dumb. He's up there. He's a lawyer. That's one.
Oh gosh.
That's what it comes down to. This case, it's just cause division, bro.
Mm-hmm. That's all it is. It's always exactly to cause division especially within racial boundaries. Yep. So before we wrap it up, guys, apologies for the last episode. Mic quality and the way I'm still learning how to use OBS, and we use OBS in this manner now because it makes us filming and creating these shows much easier without having to do. We can do minimal post editing. So obviously, the way we had the mic settings with an OBS. Our mics cut out for a good majority, and then clips and stuff, we couldn't react to it normally. And I said we were going to do a based reacts video this week and last week, and we couldn't even do it because the video was ruined, and then clips were ruined. I couldn't even upload clips. But
cool predictions video, but it's all good.
It's all good. But we're getting it figured out as we go on. We're getting better and better and better. So today we should not have, at least this episode should not have any problems. So with that being said, I don't know. I think that video we just reacted to could be one of our base reacts that you might see uploaded as a separate clip if you want to go back and watch
that.
that.
A longer video.
So yeah, which I think we might have at least 1 or 2 react videos this week because we do have another one that we're gonna react to. So keep on the lookout.
Yeah,
on the channel.
We got those react videos coming out. Keep a lookout on our socials too for our clips. You get clips from our shows. You know, we're gonna try to be more active on social media because it's free advertisement. It's the way the content creation game goes. So
Indeed. So thank you guys so much for watching, and share this podcast with whoever you want. Maybe if you want to make your liberal friend crash out, you can share it with them if you want.
Yeah, share with anybody. Learn something.
If you want to hate watch, we greatly appreciate you hate watching.
Thank you for sharing. Everybody watching consistently. You know, we appreciate you. The last one was our best viewed video.
Yeah, best viewed video,
regardless of the complications.
The tech quality was terrible.
Yeah.
So
share, follow us on socials, everything, YouTube, subscribe.
Yeah, share it all you want. Even like I said, even if you don't watch the video fully, you can just put it on in your car while you're driving. For driving out for long periods of time, playing in the background, whatever you can. As long as you're hearing our voices, you're getting the information that you need. This is the place where liberals crash out.
Adios.